And here we are, press start, guys. It's always the most awkward thing to do is when I press start, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should watch a camera, have a little moment of like sitting down, chilling down, do an entrance and say, welcome to the, I never know how to start this podcast. So welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Iron Mind, the podcast that's going to blow your mind. And before we keep on moving, remember to subscribe on the YouTube channel or the Spotify because more we have subscriber, more it's going to be easier for me to bring guests into the show. I can bring some scientists, some therapists, some journalists. I can bring any type of people in this show to make us understand every topic in a better way because I believe when an expert talk, it's a little bit clearer than when I do. So so having more people into this channel, if you subscribe, if you make your friends subscribe, is going to bring more view and more credibility, I would say, which it would make it easier to contact some people to say, hey, do you want to join the podcast? Also, guys, if you're on YouTube, I don't know if you can notice this light on my right corner on the right side. It's kind of like an effect of like a fireplace. It's pretty sick, eh? I feel Iron Man is evolving every single day. It's crazy, and it's evolving and improving because of you guys. Yeah, guys, something crazy. Episode number 6. That's mean I've been doing that for the past 6 weeks. And let me tell you something. I started the podcast with a very, very, very dark mindset and very low mental health. It's true. It was really bad. I was really bad when I started the podcast. And I want to say that to you listeners who are on the same position, feeling very down, waking up every morning was really hard, and you don't even understand why you're still alive because you don't feel worth it. You don't feel like you are worth living this life, and I totally understand, and it's really hard, guys. But what I'm trying to say here is like since I've been doing this journey, I feel I feel so much better. I feel I feel I'm starting to see finally, as I say already, it's like when the storms come, after the storm, you always have a blue sky and the sun and everything's getting beautiful. And it's what I feel at the moment. I feel like I've been so down, so low in my mental health than I never been in my life. And I really thought at the time I would never get out of it. It would be very hard. But what I want to say to you guys is instead of ignoring your emotion, instead of ignoring the feeling you've got, work with them, understand them, and you'll see it's going to make you move forward. And it's going to be small step by step, very small one. You don't have to go from, oh, I feel like shit, I don't want to wake up, my life is not worth it, to, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to wake up, I'm going to feel amazing. No, it's not true. You won't feel amazing. It's going to take time. It takes time because I believe that a lot of people are not trying to understand the emotion. They try to hide them. They put them on the side of their head and they're like, I will deal with that later on, but not now. My advice to you guys, and I am no one to say that again, I am not a specialist or I am not a therapist or nothing else, but the best way to approach your emotion is to understand them and work with them straight away. Put it in a context of a relationship. If you fight with your partner before going to bed and if you don't solve the problem before going to bed, you won't have a great night. And that's exactly the same thing in your mind, right? If you can imagine you fight with your partner, if you can manage to resolve the problem before and finish with a hug and understanding, you would have a good night and wake up happier. And it's what's happened with your emotion. If you don't hide them and if you try to understand why you feel like that, you would see the light at the end of the tunnel. I promise you guys. So it's not easy. It's really hard. You feel lonely and alone, but good thing take time. Good thing take time. It's true. Like don't rush the process. Is You would do 3 step forward, 5 step back all the time. But that's a process in life, and any way you move on in life is is what I believe. Is what I believe. I hope I can help you the best. And I know what you feel. If you feel very sad, very angry, very pretty much ashamed, and don't feel you are worth living, Well, let me tell you something. You are, and you will. At one point, it would take time, but you will see the light. I promise. Yeah. So that's why that's what I wanted to say is I'm feeling way better, and I really appreciate all the message from all of you guys saying that you are here for me, and I appreciate that. But we see the light. We start seeing the light, and life's getting a little bit better every single day. Today, the topic is a very powerful topic because I believe in this world we all have this person around us that act like that with us, and how can I say that? It pisses me off so much. So if you are one of this person, I'm not attacking you here. I'm giving you a few steps, few key to stop doing it or doing it in a different way. Today we will talk about toxic positivity. Oh yeah. What a topic, guys. Toxic positivity. And why I'm talking about it is because one girl that's come to my gym was like, Adrian, I have a new topic for you. And I think when she said it, she might have experiences. Well, I don't know. I don't know how you say that. She might have a yeah experiment that just before she came to me. She was like, I have something for you, man. What about talking about toxic positivity? And I was like, oh fuck yeah, that's a good one. I like this one because I think people have a misunderstanding about being optimistic and toxic positivity. A little definition about toxic positivity is when someone insists of staying positive all the time, even when the situation is really painful and serious. Is the kind of person that's always say good vibe only. The mindset that ignore or push away normal feeling like sadness, anger, or grief. Instead of helping, it can make people feel like their real emotion don't even matter. In simple terms, toxic positivity is forcing happiness and ignoring real feeling when someone is struggling. Yeah. So being positive is great, but being toxic about it is terrible for someone who struggle. And it's true. Like the person who struggle want to feel listen. The person who struggle want to feel understand, and not being like, "Hey, bro, stop being a pussy." Like there is way worse in life. I don't care because at the moment it's me. I'm struggling. So yeah, that's the definition of toxic positivity. Is in a simple term, toxic positivity is forcing happiness and ignoring real feelings when someone is struggling. And there is this sentence from, she's a therapist, a couple therapist, a family therapist, an author. She wrote a book called The Note from Your Therapist. It's Alison Dean Nin. Nin. Dean. Fuck. Why am I struggling so much with English name or American name? Why? Or any other name, the French name. Like sometimes I have people come to the gym with some names and I'm like, I'm not even like ready to coach those people because I don't even know how to say their name. Sometimes they come and I see the name on the we have a system in the gym called Wordify and you can sign up people and the name of the person is like whatever name is and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna say the name. I'm gonna say, hey, what you should do, yo bro, what you fuck, I don't like that. I would like to call them by their name, but I can't. And sometimes I avoid coaching them because I'm scared of saying their name wrong, you know? Sorry, I'm gonna drink a little sip of coffee because it's early morning. Early. It's 9 a.m. But it's early for me. Mm. And also, guys, if you're on YouTube here, you can see my face is pretty tired, and I'm gonna tell you why it's tired because I am in a short movie, a web series, exactly. And let me tell you, I wish that could be my career. I want to wake up every morning being an actor, a full time actor. And I know I would have day where I would be like, fuck, I hate that. But if I acknowledge that, if I acknowledge the fact that I can hate my job as well, I can go through a lot of things. So the sentence from sorry, let's go back to the topic. But yeah, I wanted to say that the series would be called Cabin Crew. It would be released in a couple of months, and when it would be released, I would bring the director here to talk a little bit about the process of Cabin Crew. And I hope you're gonna like it because fuck is a mean ass series. It's so cool. It's so fun. I have so much fun doing it. Every time I'm on set, I'm a different person. It's like a kid again. I'm a kid again. I'm happy to be here, and I love it. I love it. Anyway, let's go back. Toxic positivity. The sentence from Alison Dean Nin. She say, so often we are not allowed to feel upset, even for 1 minute, without the whole world rushing us to do something about it. But the real question is, why can't I feel upset? Why can we not feel upset once? Why someone never come to us and say, it's okay if you feel that way. It's okay. I understand. Instead of that, it's like, man, it's okay. Just be positive. Fuck off. I need to process right now. That doesn't help me. If you tell me to be positive, it won't help me. Help me to process what's going on with my life. Instead of like, oh, you're doing so good. You're amazing. When you're not. And you know it doesn't help. And I know it's coming from a good place. The people who do that, the people who are very positive all the time, they think that help you. But if you listen to that, and if you're one of this person, if you recognize yourself behind the toxic positivity, you do not help us. You piss us off more than anything. But we know you come with a good intention, and we cannot be mad at you. So yeah, thank you for that. But change a little bit. So I repeat the sentence. So often we are not allowed to feel upset, even for 1 minute, without the old world rushing us to do something about it. But the real question is, why can't I feel upset? True. Now there is something I would like to clarify with you guys is being positive is great. Toxic positivity is dangerous. And there is a difference in between toxic positivity and being optimistic. There is a big difference. And the big difference being about being positive, toxic positivity. Sorry, oh, wow, that was a little bit of baffle here. The difference in between being optimistic and toxic positivity is being optimist is uh, is realistic hope. Is acknowledge that something is hard, painful, and unfair, but still believe things can improve. That's true. Like being optimistic is, it's very rough. Let's say when you do a workout, when I do a workout, you do the workout and it's fucking hard and you struggle, but 20 minutes later, you're back to normal. You're back to your normal breathing, normal life, and you're fine. That's being optimistic, I think, from my point of view, because again, I always put like everything towards sport, but it's true. Like sometimes you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this workout. I know I'm going to be in pain, but you know what? It's going to be really hard, but I know 20 minutes later, I'm back to where I am now. It's a way for me to acknowledge that. Now, toxic positivity is different. Ignore or minimize the hard part. It jumps straight to stay positive without allowing space for real emotion. And that's a problem with toxic positivity. Instead of like understanding your emotion, the feeling, and what you feel right now, you try to jump to the positive way that can create a lot of problem in your mind, in your head. Um, optimism sounds like this is really tough, but I'll figure it out. Or I'm hurting, but I know it's won't last forever. Or another one, it's okay to struggle. Better day will come. That would be being optimistic, you know? Now, toxic positivity sounds more like just be positive. Don't think about it. Other have it worth. Everything happened for a reason. That's those kind of like thing. And I believe in this sentence. The last one, and I say everything happened for a reason is true. It is true, but sometimes you don't want to hear that. Sometimes you want to be the more support and more understanding of how you feel. The key difference is optimism allow pain and hope to exist together, which toxic positivity denied the pain and forced the hope. Real strength isn't pretending nothing hurts. It's feeling the hurt and still choosing to move forward. That would be the two difference. Now, the problem with like toxic positivity on yourself. And to be honest, yourself and for other people is the same thing. So I'm not going to say for yourself or other people, is in general, the toxic positivity is, it makes you doubt about your own feeling. It makes you doubt about your own feeling. It makes you bottle things up. means that you close them up, you put them aside, and forget about it. Make you feel alone, make you feel guilty or shame, or daily healing. You fucked up your daily healing. Um, you don't say daily, you say delay healing. Yeah, delay healing. So let me explain that a little bit more. So you doubt about your own feeling. You may think like you are overreacting about something, like my day is so shit. I didn't have a great, but why am I like that? I should be happy. Like, look, everyone around me is so happy. First of all, you don't know if they are fucking happy. You don't know if those people are really happy. They potentially pretend because they don't want you to know that they struggle. Like me, when I was struggling a lot, I didn't want anyone to know that because I thought it was weakness. I thought I was weak. I thought I was a bitch. I thought like I need to tough it up, by actually do the opposite, by sharing my emotion to my friends or my family. It makes me feel way stronger than I thought. So yeah, you doubt about your own feeling. You may think maybe you are overreacting. You know, you bottle things up instead of dealing with emotion. You totally ignore them. So is what I said before. You put them on the side of your mind and say, "I would deal with that later on." No, fuck, deal with that straight away, because this later on, that would always come back and always bring back memories and always fucking hurt you all the time, all the time. So instead of putting it aside, just fucking deal with it right now. Deal with your emotion right now. Don't put it aside, because it would always eat you alive. Eat you alive. And that's what this depression is all the thought always coming. But if you understand the thought, if you connect with them and if you question them, if you understand them, remember what we say in the last podcast, if you start questioning your thought, if you start understanding them, your life's getting a little bit better. And it's what I said, the example of like waking up in the morning. When you wake up, sorry, in the morning, you feel a bit like, oh well, what the fuck is going on? You open one eyes and then you start noticing stuff in the room, and then you open the other eyes and then it's getting a little bit brighter, and then your brain cell and everything in your head start to waking up as well. Your body waking up step by step, and then you stand up and then you start your day. That's it. It's like you acknowledge all those things. Like, oh, my eyes hurt a little bit. Like, oh, this is a bit bright. This alarm system here is a little bit bright. Oh, I'm gonna stretch a little bit. My body's feeling a little bit awake now. Okay, I can stand up and start my day. That's what's happened with bottling those emotions up. Imagine it's like you wake up and you don't want to feel everything. You're like, fuck that. No, no. I need to stay eyes closed. I don't want to wake up. That's depression. You kind of like isolate yourself a lot. So instead of like bottle things up, deal with it now. Don't put it aside. One step at a time. Like, deal with what's happened right now, and then move on. You feel alone. If people dismiss your struggle, you may stop opening, and it's true. It is really true on the fact that, let's say, fuck, man, it's really hard today, and I didn't want to wake up. And if this person come to you and say, there is worse in life, man, tough it up, you're gonna be like, I was just trying to open up to you because I believed that you were a friend and that you were gonna try to help me. Instead of that, you make me feel very uncomfortable, and I don't want to open up with anyone else anymore because I don't want to look like I am a softie or pussy or whatever word can work for you to understand. So yeah, you feel alone because you feel like people do not understand what you feel. So instead of talking about it, you keep it for you and you isolate yourself. You feel the guilt or the shame. You might believe you're weak for not being positive. And quite often, like when someone is always positive on your face, you're like, why am I not positive? Why am I struggling so much? And that happened to me a little bit when I was in my big phase of depression. Is I was watching people around and I was like, they seem so positive about everything. And for me, every single step in my life at the time, and it's hard to talk about it sometimes still, I was like waking up and I was like, man, no, I hate my life. I'm such a piece of shit. I hate that. I hate waking up. Why am I waking up? Going into my shower was really hard. Brushing my teeth was really hard. Preparing a meal was fucking hard. And I was like over and over being weak. And I was like, why can I not be positive again? And then the thought of like, just waking up, stop being a pussy. Like, let's go for it. Come on, man. Come on. And I couldn't get to this step of like being happy because I couldn't understand why I was like that until I start questioning and sitting down with my own emotion and questioning them and try to understand them and why I was like that, you know? Delay healing is real growth come from processing emotion, not skipping them, is what we've been talking about for the past 5 minutes. So yeah, so that's the problem with toxic positivity is like it can create more depression than you think. It can create more depression than you think. It can create more anxiety for other people and for your own self. Like by trying to be positive too early, too soon, without understanding, it's gonna fuck your brain up. It will fuck your brain up. And I have so many examples. Like like sometimes you do a workout. I'm going back to a workout, right? Or you do something, and you screwed up so bad, and you feel so bad about it, and you need a quiet place at the time. You need to understand why you feel that bad. And there is this person who comes like, man, you smoked this workout just to make you feel better. They say that, but fuck off. Just don't lie to me. It's like, yeah, that wasn't that great, bro. But let's find some positive there. And by approaching that way, it is gonna help people feel better. It's gonna help people feel like, oh, I acknowledged and I wasn't good here, and I feel the same. I don't feel good here. So we're gonna do a plan to feel better for the next time. And it happened to me with rugby. With rugby, when I was playing the all years in my position, um, in I was number one in my position, and every time coming the semifinal or final, I was very anxious about it. And the first year is like I was beating myself up because I've done such a shit game. I was so shit. But the second year, my coach was like, Adrian, I want to talk to you this year, and I want to create a plan for you to not be disappointed and play again as you used to play. And I was like, oh, what's the plan, coach? And he was like, if we manage to go in semifinal or final, I know you're struggling with pressure, and my idea is to put you on the bench like that. You see someone else play, and you come back in the field when I tell you, when I feel you are confident enough, you come back, and we try. And I remember we were in the final. It was in around Bordeaux, and don't tell me wrong. When I was sitting on the bench, I was quite it's a ego thing. Like you feel like shit on the fact that you should be on the field and not the other one. But I knew the plan, so I was like, okay, let's give it a try. And I remember coming in the field, and I was playing number 10 at the time, and there is this massive dude. It was massive. We were at 5 meters from the try line behind us, and the guys run towards me, and my head was like, "You're gonna smash this motherfucker," because the anger was so present. Which before I would have been, "Oh, careful, careful, he's going fast. You can you stop it?" I would be anxious about it. If you don't stop it, we put a try, we lose the game. We na. Which my intention, my emotion was so different because I was like, "I'm gonna fuck this motherfucker up." And I remember grabbing his leg, lift him up, moving him to the 22 mark. So there is like the 22 mark, and then there is the 5 meters mark, and then the try line. And I push him from the 5 meter mark to the 20 meter mark. And I remember when I did that, the whole crowd went like, ooh. And man, I played this game like a fucking genius. I was so proud of myself. And I went to my coach after the game and I was like, man, that makes such a difference. I have no pressure. I just enjoy the moment. And it's so fucking true. I enjoyed the moment, so I was so much better. And the guys knew how to deal with my emotion. So to all the people who are toxic positivity all the time, like be good, no, it's okay, there is worse in life. Do not approach people who struggle in life with that. Just acknowledge the problem, acknowledge the struggle, and instead of saying, yeah, just tough it up, man. There is worth in life. Just acknowledge, say, yeah, I know what you feel. I know you struggle. I know you deal with a lot of like thought here. My advice to you is take one thought at a time. Learn from any thought you have, any problem you deal with. Go one step at a time. Do one task at a time. And every time you reach one, every time you finish a task, crush it. Like, boom, I've done it. Move on to the next one. What was the next one? Oh, that's why okay, move on. By doing that, by processing step by step, you will see your progress would be way more consistent than trying to go from very negative to suddenly I need to be very positive. You would always catch up with your feeling. Your feeling will always catch up. Even if you feel good for 1 month or two, something around you would bring it back, and that's a bad thing. So if you are a person that try to help others with toxic positivity, just approach it in a different way. First of all, listen to the person who struggle. Second of all, acknowledge what they say. Third of all, try to help them with good cue. And yes, stay positive is a good thing, but don't overact. Don't overreact. So that was my thought about toxic positivity. I hope it makes sense. I hope I didn't repeat myself too much, because sometimes I feel I do repeat myself a little bit too much. But hey, it's okay. Michael Jordan say you would hit the wall. Now there is two type of person. There is the people who stay behind the wall because they're afraid to climb the wall, because they're afraid of failure and they're afraid of the outcome. And there is the people who are not afraid of that, and they will go anyway. And what I mean about it is life. As life, you would hit the wall so many times, but if you learn from it, you grow. So yeah, you every time you hit a wall, learn from it, understand it, why, and before moving on, try to really understand it. Not okay, I get it now, move on, and then a couple months later you are in the back in the same situation. Just step by step, be consistent with the process. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to rush it. I try when I was very negative about my thought and my own self, when I thought I was a piece of shit and I didn't deserve to live. um, and it's fucking hard to think about it now, because I'm like, fuck, wow, how the brain can control you is insane. And I would love to have someone to talk about it, talk about emotion and stuff like that, someone that understands that a lot of therapists does. So if you are a therapist and you are interested to jump into the podcast with me at some point, flick me a DM. Let's have a talk and let's make it happen. But yeah, I was in this period of like, I hate myself. I don't know if I'm worth living. To now, then when I see the progress of how I feel now, is insane. And at the start, I processed it by trying to be very positive and it's okay, life is beautiful, no, no, no. Which now I'm like, well, no, right now it sucks. And I need to understand why it sucks. And if I can help people understand that, then it can be sucks at the time, but the light will come at one point. If you don't rush, the light will come. So I hope we make a little bit more sense about toxic positivity. In if you are a toxic person, toxic positive person, I hope you understand what you need to change to make people feel better. So that was the topic of episode number 6, toxic positivity. Episode number 6 is gonna sex. So that was a mix of 7 and set. So I'm sorry. Episode number 7 would be about 5 habits that you should have in the morning to start your day and feel amazingly good. That's what's going to be the topic. So 5 habits that would help you feel so good when you start your day. And you're going to see it's not something complicated. It's something that I try to do every day. I fucked up sometimes. Sometimes I do not do it. But I try to do it as much as I can. And when I do it, I notice a massive shift in my day, in how I approach the day, how I feel during the day. So the next topics would be 5 habits that's going to help you starting your day. So that was Iron Mind, the podcast that's going to blow your mind. Remember, I always close the podcast with this beautiful sentence that say, build your mind, grow your life. It was a pleasure for me to be behind this mic, and I see you next week for the next episode. See you guys.